everyone and welcome to the West Highland Way. So this is my second trip along this epic 96-mile long route from Milngavie to Fort William. Originally I was meant to be walking with my best friend Kelly, but she's had to postpone till next year. So I went back and forth dozens of times in my head. Should I carry on myself? Should I cancel? Just wasn't sure what to do because ultimately it was something that we wanted to do together. Now, for anyone who's watched any of my previous videos will know that I completed the West Highland Way just a few months ago, back in May. And I had to ask myself, did I want to do it again all on my own so soon? Last time was so different because I had my husband Sean with me as my support crew. So I had company at the end of every day. But this time is quite different. I'm not camping. I'm going to be using B&Bs, bunkhouses, hotels. So it really is going to be a solo adventure this time. Now I'm fine in my own company. I'm not someone who needs to be surrounded by friends and family all the time. But I'm generally quite a shy person, and striking up a conversation with a complete stranger really doesn't come naturally. I kept getting all these little nagging voices, or as I call them, brain goblins. And they kept saying things like, oh, you're going to fail, and what if this, and what if that, and you're on your own. And it kind of got to the stage where I said, you know what, brain goblins, the best way to deal with you is to say, yeah, I get it, I understand what you're saying, but no, I'm not listening. So I thought back to all the lovely people that I'd met on the West Highland Way the last time. I was very rarely completely on my own, and I was sure that this time was going to be the same. So hopefully not. If I was to injure myself, I have an accident, touch wood that doesn't happen. Help's not going to be all that far away. I also remembered that I'd set myself a challenge this year of being brave, taking chances and getting out my comfort zone as much as possible. And this includes talking to a camera and posting it to YouTube. That's been much harder and also much funnier than I'd ever thought it would be. You should see some of the outtakes. So after weighing everything up, ultimately it was the fact that I had fallen head over heels in love with almost every one of these 96 miles that it made up my mind. It was a no-brainer. There's so many people all over the world who would love to do this, and here I was with the chance to do it again. So welcome to day one, let's get started. So I'm going to do things a little differently this time. I've reduced the number of days I'm walking from 7 to 6. So that means 3 of the days are going to be higher miles, around 19 or 20. So today is a big first day. I'm walking 20 miles today and I'll finish tonight in Balmaha. So one thing I'm really looking forward to is seeing the change in the landscape. When I was here in May, obviously it was late spring, early summer, everything was in full bloom, the colours of everything was so vibrant. And now obviously we're on today's the 19th of September, all the leaves are starting to change colour. So it's going to be a completely different walk this time. So this is Craigallon Loch, which is just the other side of Mugdock Country Park, and you don't really get to it from this side of the path. You need to go from Milngavie town centre, but it's really worth a visit, for a good day's walk. There's really good trails in there. It's a large park. I'm sure I read it's well over 600 acres. That's got a great mix of walking and cycling trails. Also really good for spotting wildlife. And for any of you history buffs out there, it's got 2 castle ruins in the park, Mugdock Castle itself and also Craigend Castle. My particular favourite fact about it is it's been used for some movies and TV series. So it was used in Outlaw King, starring Chris Pine, and also my favourite series, Outlander. So I'm now walking past Carbeth. I was going to say village, but I think it's actually known officially as a hamlet. It's a collection of super cute little wooden huts, and the people that own them are known as the Carbeth Hutters. So they date back to after the First World War, where a lot of the soldiers came home and from the war and were granted camping rights up here. Then once the Industrial Revolution in Glasgow exploded, and so did the pollution. A lot of families would come up here for some fresh air and some peace and quiet. So during World War II, a lot of evacuees from the town of Clydebank, which I'm sure is about maybe 8 or 9 miles from here, I think it was March 1941, I'm sure if my history is correct, it got pretty much flattened by the German bombers, and so many people say were homeless and came up here, so the population increased dramatically. So these days the huts can only be used for recreational use. They're quite strict on that, so you can't live in them permanently. There's a real thriving community of like artists, poets, and writers, and everyone is super passionate about it. So when you come out of Carbeth, you're on the road, so just watch for speeding cars coming down that road there, and head for across the road and head to the other side where there's a pathway. Spotted this at the side of the trail. I thought this was really cute. It's the West Highland Way ferry house. Not sure if you can see that, but it says, "When everything feels like an uphill struggle, just think of the view from the top." How cute is that? So I'm about 5 miles in. The next kind of a landmark is the Glengoyne Distillery, just further down the hill here. So sun is peeking out almost. It's quite misty when I left Mulgai, but I knew obviously the forecast for later is really quite sunny, so I didn't want to wear anything too thick or heavy, so I've just got a little light base layer on. In fact, I've even got a short sleeve in my bag just in case it gets super sunny. So I'm so happy to be back here, so happy to be back. I've just found my favourite sign in the whole of the West Highland Way. Watch out for those wee pesky haggis. So this is the Glengoyne Distillery, which is near to the village of Drumgoyne. It produces a quite famous single malt whisky, and because they use sherry casks, it actually gives it a really nice kind of a fruity flavour. So I'm just getting to the beech tree inn. I can just see it ahead of me here, and I'm definitely going to switch to my short-sleeved base layer. It's quite warm now the sun's out. I think it's meant to get up to about 20 or 21 today, which might not be warm where you are, but it's for Scotland in September, it's definitely warm. So also trying to decide whether to have lunch or something just now. I feel a little bit peckish, but I don't know if you are the same, but whenever I do sort of longer hikes, like my body doesn't always want a big lunch, or I prefer maybe just to snack little bits here and there, so maybe grab a banana or something. I've got plenty in my bag, but I always like to have a look at the cakes. You can just have a look, you don't have to have one. So hopefully the camera will make it out, but you can just see Loch Lomond right about there. It's the first sighting of it, and the beautiful hills behind it. And also Conic Hill, there it is. So another thing that I've gone back and forth about is whether or not to climb Conic Hill today. Back in May, I ended up really injuring my left patella tendon in my knee. Probably one of those things that if I had just been out climbing Conic Hill that day and then rested, I would have been fine. But the fact that I've obviously done another 70 odd miles after that obviously just irritated it even more. But thanks to a lot of physio from Rob from the Glasgow Physio Clinic and Linda from Europa in Motherwell. Thanks to those two heroes, I'm fighting fit again. But I'd be lying if I said I'm not concerned about injuring it again today. So I still haven't quite made up my mind yet, and I've only got a couple of hours to go till I'm at that point. I mean, being such a lovely day today, I think I may be inching towards just sucking it up and doing it, because the view again will be spectacular. So I don't know, and then I know I just have to take my time on the way down. So not sure yet. Let's see what happens. Okay, so I'm almost at Drymen, and the West Highland Way goes down this little path in there. Just a tip or something to consider if you're staying in Drymen the first night you're here, you're probably best heading on up this road because it's quite a bit quicker to get into the village from here. The last time I took this path, not realising my hotel was right at the bottom of the village, so I ended up doing an extra mile or two that I didn't need to. So, and also it's really good if you want a bit of lunch, or if you need to get any supplies. The shop, there's a really good shop, and a good few shops actually in Drymen, some nice souvenir shops and a really good craft beer shop as well, so plenty to choose from. So I am making my way through Garavan Forest. I've just spent the last half hour or so walking with a lovely German girl, so I got chatting to her. So she's away to find somewhere to camp for the evening. The sun's still shining, it's gorgeous. So lucky today, so lucky. The forecast is actually to stay really nice and dry the next few days, so maybe not quite as warm as it was today, but that's fine, I'll take that. So yeah, so I've decided I'm going to climb Conic Hill. I'm going to go for it. Again, I just don't want to get to the end and regret not doing it, so as I say, we'll just suck it up and get it done. Okay, so whose idea was this? I'm only kidding. I'm actually feeling really good. Surprisingly, after 17 and a bit miles, I'm just taking this moment just since I'm in the shade, just enjoy the breeze, enjoy the view. For all it's 4:15 in the afternoon, the sun is still beating down on me, so I'm just going to take a moment and just enjoy this. So not long to go, can't quite see the top yet, but I know it's not far, so come on, let's do this. Now, if that's not a good reward for all that hard work, I don't know what is. So, contrary to what a lot of people believe, the top of Conic Hill actually is not part of the West Highland Way route. By all means, if you want to go up and do it, you can crack on. So, obviously the path comes out here, and then you can go up to the top of Conic Hill there. I don't think you can actually even see the top from here. I think it's behind that next bit again. There's also a really nice viewpoint from up here. Don't know if you can see it, but there's a little person sitting right on top of the hill. The view is just as good. So I'm not going up tonight, obviously I've been up there before. But what a gorgeous evening this is. I'm definitely getting hungry now. So I'm going to go to the oak tree and get an early dinner, and then get into my accommodation for this evening. But look at this. I think I actually might just sit and enjoy this for a few minutes, because wow. So I'm just sitting here admiring this incredible view, drinking my lukewarm ginger beer that I bought earlier on. It's actually really nice. So I'm not going to film on the way down. I just want to take my time, concentrate where I've put my hands and my feet. Don't want any injuries. So I'll see you at the bottom. So I thought it would be a good idea to share with you how much the West Highland Way is going to cost me this week. Just for anyone who's thinking of planning their own adventure, you can try and figure out how much you might need to save or whatever. So I'll give you the details of my accommodation, price of meals, and more importantly, the price of a pint. I'm a cider girl myself, so particularly the fruity ones, so I shall let you know how much they cost. And I'll also let you know if I find any complete rip-offs as well.